This video is sponsored by AG1, Effortless Foundational Nutrition. 5,000 feet to get up to the ridge. Keep on pushing, one hill at a time. Oh wow, look at that. What? Hey everybody, Syntax 77 here. Well, actually, that's my cat, my dog, my wife. I'm Syntax 77. And by here, I mean the great state of Utah. We are actually on the outskirts of Salt Lake City. Oh, Sarah will demonstrate for you. This place, right around here. And I'm about to do 3 days of backpacking. And just to make things interesting and spare my lovely wife, Sarah, from having to drive me to the trailhead because she's working right now, I'm going to leave right from here at the RV establishment that we're at. The Wasatch Range is very close to here. I see some unofficial trails along this Weber River. And I'm just going to go take this pack and see if we can't follow those trails. Maybe go through a little bit of town. Get up into the mountains, do 3 days, see what happens. So I should probably get my pack on.
Take the laundry with you.
Take the laundry with me. And yeah, we'll get to it. I'm leaving you some dishes too.
I'll take them.
Okay. I'll pack the dishes in there. We'll cook with them. So let's get this going. All right. Here we go. Sun is out. It is about 11 a.m. A little bit of a late exit, but that's par for the course for me. It's in the 50s right now. It's been going up into the 80s during the day and dipping down as low as 37 at night. It is, I should mention, mid-October, or third week or so. So getting a little wintry as we get into the month here. I do have some extra layers with me, puffy jacket, long underwear, stuff like that. And I apologize, there is going to be a little bit of road noise in the beginning here as I follow the river, which is over here, and the highway on the other side. Up here in a few miles, I should be able to find my way underneath the highway over towards the Wasatch National Forest. We're currently around 5,000 feet in elevation right now, and the range has multiple peaks on it, stretching for a potential of like 20 miles that I could do, and it goes up to around 9,700 feet. So about 5,000 feet of elevation gain to get up onto that ridge. Should make for a nice workout. There's our first view right there of some mountains, actually. A little bit of haze in the air. And this over here, that is Hill Air Force Base right there. So there's been a lot of jet activity. We'll see if we spot some on our adventures as well. They got a bunch of fighters over there. F-22s, 35s, and 16s. They've been doing functional checks, just flying all over the place. So it's made things a little noisy, but interesting. Well, there's one firing up right now, actually. I should point out too, there might be a little bit of risk involved with what I'm doing to start the trip here. I've hiked this trail, ooh, that's loud. I've hiked this trail with my wife no more than a mile up this way, and it looks promising, but I can't confirm exactly what it's like after the first mile or so. But from looking at satellite images, I think we're gonna be okay. In worst case, I guess we'll just be camping right here with the cactus stuck on the other side of the highway, but I don't think so. Whew, man, it's getting warm. I have to shed this layer right away. Actually did some fly fishing over here the other day. Didn't catch anything, but it was quite nice. Little section there, a little road noise of course, but pretty nice to have that within 4 minutes of our front door. Alright. Right around here, about as far as I have came on this trail. Some more cactus to watch out for. Nice fall colors. My wife and I have kind of been in a perpetual state of fall. We worked our way up north from Montana. We've been getting chased by winter and just trying to stay ahead of that, so I don't want to drive in snow with the rig. So we've been seeing fall color for, geez, 6 weeks now? A month at least. Bit of culture shock around here. Not culture shock, noise shock, something. We were living in very rural Montana and Idaho. Had to come down here to Salt Lake to catch a flight. Probably the most populated area I've seen in quite some time. But that is why I'm gonna hike up into these mountains, get back into some peace and quiet, and just hope this barbed wire doesn't cut me off at some point. Luckily, the trail's pretty well established, so I think we're not gonna have any problem following it. Double barbed wire. That wouldn't be fun. Uh-oh. Whoopsie. Allow me to tuck back in the woods. Consult my map. Like I said, this is a well-established trail. No markings saying no trespassing the whole time. It's been along that public river, really. All right, I'll check my map out and see if I have to backtrack or what. I don't want to break any rules. I don't want to really be on a surveillance camera that may or may not exist either. So I'm going to look at my map. I got parcel data on there. Maybe there's some sort of sensitive area coming up or something. I'll take a look. But before we find out our fate on the trail here, I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor for making this trip possible. This video is sponsored by AG1. It's a super quick and easy source of foundational nutrition. I've been using it for a bit now. I even got my wife turned on to it for the last 2 weeks or so. We've both been using it as part of our daily routine every morning. First thing, before I even have coffee, which is saying something. It's got 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. Me personally, unless I'm backpacking and I force myself to, I'm not really a breakfast person. I just tend to eat later in the day. But with this in the morning, there are no carbs. It's keto friendly. It's less than a gram of natural sugars in there. And it doesn't make me feel full or slow. In fact, it actually makes me feel more energy because I'm getting a bunch of vitamins and minerals. I got good focus for when I'm editing or doing those other tasks throughout the day. I just add 1 scoop to about 10 ounces of cold water out of the canister they gave me with their fancy scoop. Always put the lid on before shaking. Pro tip. Pop the rest back in the fridge for next time. That's it. Tastes good, particularly in this desert heat. If you're looking for an effortless way to get a bunch of nutrition in your daily routine, you'll check it out. For viewers of my channel, just go to the URL listed below. It's drinkag1.com/syntax77, and they will hook you up with a 1-year supply of their vitamin D3K2, as well as 5 travel packets. So thank you, AG1, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to figuring out what exactly is going on with this trail. Darn, yeah. There's a parcel of land. It looks like an empty parcel, but starts right here at a property line. It's a shame too, because we are so close to where I can see, or could see on the satellite images, a good spot to cross the road. Now, I guess we'll backtrack and look for somewhere else to cross the road. We got all that barbed wire to contend with, but yeah, all right. Bummer. Actually, I mean, think about it too. Can't see it from right here, but, well, actually, maybe you can. Well, there's power lines, and then there's also approach light towers. So when you're near a Air Force base and you see something that says video surveillance, don't go any further, I tend to recommend not messing with that. And the problem is, every once in a while there's a broken piece of cattle wire, but you still got the second layer, plus running across the street, I might run into more of it. So, yeah, off to a good start. All right, a couple hours later, a couple miles later. Thank you, Sarah.
Welcome.
And Denali for being nice enough to drop me off after work.
Totally.
It is like, what, 3 o'clock now?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna grab my pack. We'll try this again. Look at this lovely neighborhood we're in. Believe it or not, through here is the wilderness. Gotta love Utah. All right, stay there, bud, stay. Stay. Good boy. All right. Love you both.
Love you. Be safe, have fun.
Will do. All right, here we go. Back at it. She was nice enough to offer to immediately drive me over, but I said no. Plus I was a little flustered, to be honest. And just double check my map here. Yep, we're doing good. I was a little flustered, to be honest. And speaking of maps, I checked. I'm recording my tracks on Caltopo, which is an app on my phone, but it's on my desktop. I checked the desktop at home, saw where I stopped, where that sign was, and it indeed said that I was on public land still, albeit a small sliver of public land, but it was. So I don't know if somebody placed the sign early, somebody was just being a jerk, or what was going on, but I wasn't really in the mood to mess around and get Area 51 treatment by walking in anywhere I'm not supposed to be. So here we are. Colors on these trees are amazing. What we're doing right here, oh, there's a sign right there. Hobbs Canyon Access Trail, Great Western Trail, this way. And then that goes down to some other neighborhoods, I think. So we're gonna take this. It's a minor connecting trail, and it'll get us to the Great Western Trail, which I had never heard of, but it sounds pretty cool. It's a roughly 1,600 mile or so long distance trail. I think it's not technically complete, but it's a network of trails all the way from Mexico to Canada, similar to like a PCT or CDT kind of vibe, apparently. Starts in Montana, ends in Arizona. Obviously, we will not be going that far, but we're going to use a portion of it the entire time once we're on the ridge up here. Which, by the way, in terms of elevation, even though I got a ride here, our profile is still pretty much the same. Got 5,000 feet to get up to the ridge. My plan is to just do 2,500 of those feet today over the course of 2.5 miles. Whew. Which is about 1,000 feet per mile. That is pretty steep. So I got my work cut out for me to start here. The reason I chose that location is there is a spring marked on the National Forest Service map at that location. And from looking at satellite images, looks like a decent clearing. Sounds like camp potential to me. There's the town. Guess it would be Ogden and South Weber. Something like that. Look at that over there. Great Salt Lake. And if you continue in that direction, Salt Lake City. Kind of scrubby around here. Ooh, this is steep. It's about 77 degrees now too. But we're coming off the highs for today, which is nice. I got to miss that. Another intersection already. Well, we've gone up a couple hundred, if not more feet pretty quickly. Hobbs Canyon and Great Western Trail that we were talking about, we're linking up with that now. So we want to go uphill on that, and that would be winding through those hills, see what's on the other side of them. Really think I may have lucked out with the fall foliage timing. Man, didn't plan it that way, but it's working pretty well. One thing on my mind though, this is not the wettest time of year. I hope this spring is flowing. I did read some reports on it. It's I saw it mentioned a few times by other people in addition to being on the Forest Service map. Apparently, is some people put some PVC pipe in it to make it flow a little nicer. So I just hope it is flowing. I do have a lot of water with me to start, so I can get through tonight, but it would be nice to not have to conserve that water as much. And also, camp's going to be at around 7,600 feet. My East Coast lungs aren't quite adapted. Whew, as you can probably tell by my breathing. We've been out living at around 5,000 feet for a little bit now, but I'm still not adapted. And 7,600 feet, it's definitely up there as the highest I've slept at in, oh, I don't know, over a year or two for sure. I think maybe South Dakota I was up that high, but still, if you're not used to thin air, you can get dehydrated a lot easier. So I should stay on top of my water game for sure. It's mellowing out a little bit here. Maybe I'm getting a little break on this shelf. I actually got some dirt in front of me instead of those rocks, so that's nice. Getting a little break from the sun too. Pushing up on 7,000 feet elevation. Oh, another 600 feet to go or so, or 800. Keep on pushing. I'm not quite to the spring yet, but I have already hit 2.5 miles. Surprisingly quickly, or at least it feels like it. I'm not moving that fast, but not too bad. Although with this late start, that sun, it's not going to stay up there too much longer. Got a few hours till it's dark. Sun set is around 6:45, probably dark at 7. Feeling pretty good, but I'm a little tired. It's been a few weeks since my last backpacking trip. I just got to get my legs back, because I was talking about elevation earlier, but personally, I don't usually start to feel a performance hit until like 8,000 feet. Slight. 10,000 feet, I'm definitely feeling it. 12,000 feet, which we're not going to see on this hike, that's when I'm really getting wrecked with my Delaware lungs. But feeling it today for whatever reason. Stopping pretty often, but at least there's a view. It's a good excuse to stop every once in a while, I guess. As you can see, we're back in the woods. I thought we were gonna, I had a false hope back there on those rocks that we were gonna pop out, but not quite yet. Still rolling. One hill at a time. One steep hill at a time. Starting to get a little bit of a different vibe in the woods here. You can see how this might very well have a spring. Should be just up ahead pretty soon. opening up. It's looking pretty promising over here. Spring should be on the left-hand side somewhere. Now, what I couldn't tell from the satellite photos, aerial photos, whatever, I also didn't check the date on them. There's a lot of grass, kind of straw-like grass and undergrowth here that wouldn't be the best to put a tent on. Hopefully this is home for tonight around here. It's a cool little bowl. It's probably protected pretty good from wind, which I don't expect it to be too bad tonight based on the forecast. Just keep my eye out for a little herd path going off to the side. Didn't have the best luck on my last trip with water, so I'm hoping to change that this time. Well, it's a puddle. It's not a pipe. But maybe that's because it just collects here. Maybe I'll just follow this up here. Hopefully that's just the runoff from the real spring. At least that means there's something flowing. Second puddle. And looks like it's dry above it. So it must come out of the ground here. It's not perfect, but I mean, I could dip in there with a cup, maybe pre-filter it through like a piece of cloth. So that's good. I do have enough water to get through the night, and there's another spring potentially maybe 3 miles ahead on the ridge as well that I can hit tomorrow. I think I'm going to call it as far as how far I'm going. I'm going to try to look down here, poke around for a tent site, because at this point it is 5:49 with my prolonged start time and my leisurely pace, probably an hour and a half from dark. So I'm really just winging it. There are several spots on this ridge where there's trails that go back down to civilization. They're all about 4 to 5 miles to come off the ridge and go down. So I gave my wife a list of potential spots, and then I also have my spot messenger that I can send her the actual coordinates of where to pick me up at. Anyway, so I'm truly winging it. I just studied as much as I could about the area, and we're just going to go for it for the next 3 days. So right now, night one, day one, going to find somewhere out here to pop up a tent. I do have some fun dinner choices that I haven't tried before. A little something new to share with you. But yeah, that's the plan. Poke around, see what I can find. Lot of very small, sharp rocks, almost like the stone you would put down for like a gravel road, littered around here. Don't really want that poking a hole in my tent or my sleeping pad. So this is only maybe 10 yards at best. I'm probably grossly exaggerating off the trail, but this area, for whatever reason, is actual soft dirt and grass. So I'm going to take it. Plus I'm losing sun. Yes, I did say tent. On the road with me, I brought one tent system, one hammock system, and I just I don't know where the straps are for my hammock. So yes, I'm doing tent. My trekking pole tent that I've been using for a little bit, but unlike last time, I actually brought trekking poles because I anticipate some actual elevation change and some rough rocky trails. So I brought actual trekking poles that I can hike with, and then these are the poles for my tent. So I'm going to set that up right now, chug some more water. I am thirsty, and then I'll get to cooking some dinner. Before you know it, I'll probably be losing sun, so I should get on it. Quick and dirty. There she is, the Outdoor Vitals tent. And that sun is rapidly going down from where it was right when I started setting up. It's getting a nice orangey glow to it though. lighten things up kind of nice, but it's rapidly getting darker and colder too. That temperature is dropping. We're getting like 40-degree swings each day, 80s to high 30s, and I'm at a higher elevation now too, so we'll definitely be going into the 30s tonight. But what I'm going to do is, there's a little log over here that I can sit on, and plus you can probably make out that the sun is holding on as much as it can the last little bit over there, more than over here. So I'm going to pick up my pack, we'll walk over, whip up some dinner real quick, and just enjoy the sights while I can. I'm just going to take my whole pack with me because it'll be easier, and I can mess with my stuff over here. I wanted to camp right over here, but all these sharp rocks would have wreaked havoc on my gear, I believe. It's already losing sun, but that's all right. So there's my seat. Okay. There's my pack. I think it's time to put the puffy jacket on already. Let me see the best way to sit on this guy. I think that'll do it. Like I said earlier, I got a puffy jacket. It's from Outdoor Vitals as well. There's my longer socks, stuff sack, my bag of food right here. So what I'm gonna do, one of my favorite backpacking foods, it's one of the newer companies, not sponsored by them, just really like their stuff, is Peak Refuel. But I've never been able to find, there's a, I don't know if it's a limited edition, special edition, whatever, Chad Mendez, he's an MMA fighter, but he's in the hunting now, and they let him do a line of his own recipes, and it was kind of cool. He went into it on the podcast and whatnot, but I haven't been able to find them. But Peak Refuel is based in Utah, so I don't know if that is a factor or not, but I finally found 2 of his meals, so I'm going to try that tonight for the first time. Ironically, these Peak Refuels, especially his, he's out there hauling elk out of the woods and stuff, they are average around 1,000 calories, which Mountain House, for instance, is usually 500 on average. Sometimes you'll pay $12 for a Mountain House, and I love them. They're tried and true, but you know, you look at it and it's like 480 calories. Today I didn't really hike much, but I haven't eaten much, so this might be overkill, but these are both around 1,000 calories. There's a venison country casserole, ground deer and creamy sauce with rice and vegetables. Right there. And then the other one is a bison ranch mashers, ranch mashed potatoes with bison and vegetables. I don't know which one I should do. This, well, the ranch mashers is 200 more calories. It's 1120, pardon me. That really sounds good. I want to do that, but I'm going to hold off and maybe save that for tomorrow after I've done some more work. So I think tonight I'm going to go for the 40 gram of protein, 920 cal venison country casserole. We'll see how it is. I'm going to spark up my stove, same kit from my South Dakota video. I'm going to spark that up, boil some water. Wow, look at that. That's some hunks of carrot right there. I'll give them credit for that off the gate. Nice. Get some boiling water in there. Let it sit for 10 minutes while I watch the sun go down. It's getting cold. I gotta get that jacket on too. Whew. It is just right into nighttime, but that's how it is. We're just getting a jump start here. We got 2,500 feet of elevation gain and 3.5 miles out of the way. So we're up on the ridge. Got a good jump start for tomorrow. It is a beautiful sunset slash alpenglow going on across the mountains over there towards town. And yeah, I'm gonna try this country casserole. I apologize to Chad, not that I know him, but if I did, I would say sorry. I'm doing you dirty, trying your stuff for the first time. in the middle of the night. I can't really show it to people. You saw those big carrots in there though. It smells good. It looks good. Maybe you can't see it. I don't know. Can you see in there? So it's like a ricey casserole, veggies, and venison. So a little game meat. Nice. Let's try it out. Oh man. No joke. Well, I don't want to talk with my mouth full too much. Whew. There's a big old carrot. Man, I am hungrier than I thought. Oh my God. It's just like a cream sauce, I guess. Anyway, before I read you the whole package, that's my dinner. This is my campsite here in the grass. I'm gonna call it a night. It's probably not that late. Maybe 7 something, I guess, because the sun's down. I'm gonna put on an audiobook or a podcast. Get my tent with the sleeping pad. I got a 40-degree quilt, but I do have thermals on. That'll probably get the job done. I'll use my puffy jacket. I'll take it off and use it as a pillow. Hopefully I'll get by on that. That'll make things comfy. So, yeah. So, we'll call it a night, and then we'll see what happens in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Going on 8 o'clock. Finally getting light. What it's not doing yet is getting any warmer, but hopefully that'll change once the sun comes over the ridge and warms things up. I forgot to bring my little mini thermometer with me on this trip. I left it back at the RV, so I don't have a record of what the low went down to, but I would say solidly in the 30s. Water didn't freeze, so it wasn't that cold right now, which is good. But yeah, little chilly, pushing the limits of my 3-season gear here for sure. Because other than my long underwear and this heavier puffy jacket, this is pretty much just my 3-season fair weather gear, and we're pushing that a little bit. So a little chilly last night, but got through it. And now I guess it's time to take a look at what it looks like outside. Let's see. Some serious dew on the tent, that's for sure. Okay. Well, it's better than pitch black. I think I need some food because I am hungry. I burnt off that casserole. That is for sure. Probably from being cold, that does burn calories. All right, so get some shoes on and get this day started. Whew. All right. Yeah, got a little frost on there. Oh man, it's a frosty pot. All right, well, hopefully the sun comes out and dries that out a little bit so I don't have to put in my stuff sack all frosty. Wet gear is heavy gear. And I don't feel like carrying any more weight, but it is what it is. At least I stayed dry inside, right? Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna walk around a little bit just to get myself warmed up, because I'm also wearing shoes that are 3-season, if you will. These are highly breathable, but basically mesh trail runners. Speaking of walking around, I probably don't want to trudge off the trail too much, because if these pick up moisture, it's going to go right through in my socks. I know. I've done some trips in some very, very, very cold temps, like negative 20 plus. But nothing compares to not being prepared. I would take that over, well, no, I wouldn't take that over this right now, but it certainly makes a difference. You don't bring the right gear, and 30 degrees feels like full-on winter. Bring the right gear, and 30 degrees feels like spring. All right, now I gotta carefully trudge back here and get my bear bag line. I'll admit, not exactly a regulation hang. Black bears around here, very, very rare. Main thing from what I've read is mountain lions, and as far as getting your food, you know, small game like squirrels and stuff like that. So could I have hung that better? Yes, I'll admit that. So for anybody watching who's not familiar with bear bag hangs, yeah, you probably want to get it further away from the tree and a little bit higher off the ground too, because I mean, you know, something could crawl right up there and probably take a swat at that. A raccoon or something. I don't know. Do they have raccoons in Utah? I don't see why not, right? Raccoons are everywhere, aren't they? I think. I don't know. Now that I got my food back, I'll make some coffee, some breakfast, maybe some biscuits and gravy. It's actually just another Mountain House meal in a bag. I'm not actually baking biscuits out here, but I think I'll do something like that and get myself warmed up. Hopefully the sun comes out so I can get packed up without my fingers falling off. Just walk up and down this hill while the food rehydrates until I get some feeling back on my toes. Tried and true method, it does work. There's been times on deep winter trips where I do have the right gear. By the time I leave camp, you can see a circuit worn in to the snow from me literally jogging laps periodically just to keep myself warm. So it's not that bad, but because I've had that experience before, it reminded me to do this, and it should speed up the warming process. Of course, I'm also burning calories that I don't have in me, but I got plenty of food, so it's all good. Come on, biscuits and gravy. And feeling in my fingertips. Might as well sit on my sleeping pad here. Try to warm up and get some calories in me. Enjoy the view as well. So, yep. That's the plan. Eat this, pack up, trail runners down on the trail. In the span of 90 minutes, I've gone from wondering if my frost-covered stove is going to light to wondering if I have enough sunscreen. Did I say sunscreen? Sunscreen. Because it's got to be like 70 degrees up here right now. So, we're on the trail though. I got the hiking poles out, because why not? I got them with me for the tent. Might as well use them. We're at 7,600 feet. We're going up another 2,000 plus feet to 9,700 feet. That'll be the tallest peak in this region. Thurston Peak. Feeling pretty good. I'm skipping the spring puddle back there. I'm gonna roll the dice on this second spring that's about halfway in elevation, around 8,000 and change. See if that's flowing, hopefully. Getting a little tight in here. They're like thick branches too. And my jet friends are back, of course. Oh, might be able to see one right there. I can barely see it, so probably not. They usually go up in pairs of 2 over the salt flats, or whatever you want to call it over there. They don't really seem to come directly over top of us, which makes sense. If you got all those flat areas over there to really turn it up. Speaking of flat areas, looks like we might get a little shelf here before we continue on elevation gain. Trail splits up about 3 different ways. I think it's over here. Look at that. That'll make you feel small. You can see the snow up there. So I think we might be seeing some snow today. Not coming down, but once we get up on the ridge. Trail, I believe, continues back there, wraps around up on that ridge. But I figure we'll go over here. Seems like there might be another little view. Nice. And it's quiet again. Just me and the grasshoppers. Look how dark it is down there. The sun's not hitting it yet. Wow. Pretty cool. You can just see all those paths for runoff. It's probably pretty intense during the spring melt. And fun fact, actually, this Wasatch Range and region we're in here, with Salt Lake City being the biggest city, it's because of the tremendous amount of snowfall that these mountains get in the winter, followed by spring melt, of course, that there is a vein of like 25 cities along here, out here in northern Utah. Because, well, you need water for cities, especially back then before we started piping it from 2,000 miles away. All right, well, let's get onto this ridge. If I can make it through this brush. Nothing like going straight uphill through a giant shrub. I can't lie, I am going slow on this trail. It's a combination of, well, me, get that out of the way before any potential excuses. Stopping to look at the scenery, because it's pretty constant. And just good old fashioned elevation gain. And if I do finally get dirt instead of rocks like this, these branches just going through here, this section, it's not too bad. It's only hitting me every 2 seconds instead of constantly, but I'm getting there. We'll see when I get to the ridge what time it is. You know, didn't get light till 8 today, and my motivation to go outside before it got light, when it was what I'm now thinking might have been the upper 20s. Yeah, it just wasn't that wasn't happening. So didn't exactly get out of camp at a decent time. I took my time at camp too, because, you know, why not? Or I guess I can tell you why not, because I might blow my timeline today, but that's the fun part, or the good part of a shoot from the hip kind of trip. I got a bunch of different options. It's not like I have a loop I have to complete to get back to a vehicle. I mean, I got my trusty wife to give me an exfil whenever and wherever. Just gonna keep slogging through a field of bushes here. Try to get up to around this spring. Hopefully. We're up at 8,600 feet. And the trail, from looking at my map, curves around. We start going towards that little snow mass there. And somewhere along here after the curve is our potential water. Because I am low. Should I have dipped into that puddle? Yeah, probably. Not what I did, but I would suggest it. But let me tell you, it feels good to get a break from going straight uphill for a little bit, so that's nice. Very nice. What am I looking at? Looks like a cow. Lone cow. I got the sun directly in my eyes. That's not helping. But kind of looks like a cow by itself. Too fat to be a horse. Too long of a tail to be a bear. Plus, like I said, chance of seeing that around here, pretty nil. Yeah, it's cow. It's some steep terrain. It probably came from up on this nicer grazing area up here. But yeah, I didn't expect to see that. Anyway, let's see what this trail looks like. Well, now it's starting to make a little more sense. There's 2 springs marked on the Forest Service map. I don't know why it never occurred to me that I didn't know which one was the one they said was awesome with a pipe put into it. Yeah. Like, why did I assume it was the first one? Oh well, doesn't matter. That looks amazing. And so easy to dip into with the pipe stuck into it. Kudos to whoever did that. Especially out here. I mean, I know normally you just dip into a stream, just leave nature be, but there are very few water sources around here. So putting this in the middle of this little section in a very obvious fashion for anybody who's desperately in need of water, pretty awesome. So I'm going to dip into this. Alright, feels nice to sit down, even though I've really done nothing in terms of mileage so far today. I have done a lot of elevation, and I almost said bushwhacking, but I am on trail, so it's not true, but some of it felt like that. But nice to take a rest. Have some really cold water. Maybe a little snack. Let my solar USB charger charge up. That's nice. The good thing about this sun, I've been able to put a little top off charge on my spot messenger or phone, whatever, just using the sun. So that's nice. Another interesting thing, didn't realize when I bought these off-brand chicken ramen noodles that are apparently vegetarian. The mind boggles. Well, it does say chicken flavor, so I guess none of it has real chicken in it probably. That's nice. Salt and carbs, it works. Alright, back at it.
Feeling pretty good. Good.
Finally got ourselves into the snow, a little bit of it at least. Cool little area. Looks like we're about to go into the trees. And we're going uphill a little bit after that flat section. Perfect timing, because I just loaded up on, I'd say, a little over 2 liters of water. So I got some extra weight on me. And I know some of you might be thinking, why were you worried about the spring if there's snow? You could always melt that, but I don't blame anybody for thinking that. And it is possible, but not really realistic. Melting snow takes a ton of time and a ton of fuel. So if that was my game plan, there's a good chance I would have no fuel to cook my meals later. And also, I sat over there for a while, maybe not quite an hour, but over half an hour, put it that way. It was nice. But I am, well, the days are only 11 hours long, and I'm already at 1:30, believe it or not, p.m. So, as I go into the snow basin here with my mesh trail runners, probably not going to be crushing miles on this one, but like I said, I do have those options to go back down off the ridge in a few different spots, and I might be taking one of the earlier ones, to be honest. I also may not, we'll see. There's a spur trail to the actual summit of Thurston Peak. We'll see if that's a good idea or not. Yesterday, really got to camp and it got dark pretty quick. I'd like to not be in that position today. Just keep plugging ahead through the snow here. Oh wow, look at that. What? Wait, here's a cool campsite. Little wood stove that people left a ton of trash in. Just burn it, people. Better than leaving it. Which way does the trail go here? Hold on. Over here, I think. Man, we are in the snow. I mean, I expected some. And this is about, hopefully, as deep as it gets. But it's definitely not going to make me any faster, is it? Guess it goes up through there. Well, I know I can do this. I've done worse. The question is, should I do this or do I need to do this? I mean, it's not terrible for the shoes I have and whatnot. I could do it by going, I could just be careful. But that will be slow. I could go at my normal pace. That will be risking a fall, and I've done that before too. And by should do it, I should point out too, I don't even necessarily just mean safety, but like, what are we really out here to do? I mean, we're here to have a good time. We don't have to take unnecessary risks or just do anything miserable. Pretty sure you want to have a good time too, do some fun stuff. And I'll tell you what, it is enticing. I had no idea that little furnace is there. But it would be fun. Could camp there before this little mini pass and not worry about doing this. And then it'll be all downhill tomorrow, away from the snow. And, you know, I could extract back on this side. Oh, there's a low jet for you. It's actually surprisingly quiet. Kind of creepy. Oh, there it is. But anyway, as the jet gets louder, and so does the voice in my head, I think Well, you can already tell I'm backtracking, right? The stove thingy was somewhere in this bowl. Now, there was a lot of snow over there too, but I can tamp that down and make do. Maybe that's what we'll do. Plus, then we can be good stewards of the land. The first thing I'll do is burn all that stupid trash in that furnace. All right, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, how do I pass this up? Plus, I didn't even look behind me when we got here before. That's a serious view. It's not bad. I don't mind that at all. Plus, there's a bunch of seemingly dead wood around here that I can use in my newfound stove. I'm not quite sure the story behind that, but that's okay. I'll take it. So, I'm gonna drop the pack, and I got plenty of time. So, get a fire started first, I guess. Got my tent set up already. Move that up a little quick. Got a little bit of a slight lean for style. It'll do just fine. Facing towards the mountain view there. Not bad. This was getting some decent sun before, but the sun's tracking through the trees there. It should hopefully get decent sunlight first thing in the morning too. So that's taken care of. The fire is cranking over here. I got the grate on, a bunch of maybe wrist-sized logs in there, and 16 ounces of water heating up. Keeping it on the corner so I can actually grab the handle without burning my hand off later. And then I'm gonna do my bison mash tonight. So I got that all prepped up for an early dinner. Believe it or not, it's actually going on 5 o'clock already. Just been kind of enjoying myself at camp, playing with the fire. You can definitely spend a lot of time keeping a fire alive. You know, it's that human nature. So if you have other chores to do, it can be a little tough. You're always worried about whether or not it's going out. But at this point, it's going pretty good. Honestly, there's nothing, I didn't bring a saw or anything. I wasn't expecting to do anything like this. So there's nothing really big enough to really sustain like super longevity. If I had a saw, I could, I mean, look, I got some logs right there. I could cut up and put in there. But it's good. I just got to keep feeding it every, 20 minutes or so. It's getting a little better as it goes on. But that'll boil my water. Later on, I can melt snow, or we'll see. Maybe I won't. No, I'll probably have to. And I've shown that before. You just got to be careful. Have a base of water in there and just slowly add snow to it. And it's a process, but it works. And I won't have to hike back to the spring. So that's a bonus. So yeah, just enjoy myself and feeding the stove that I apparently found out here in the Wasatch Forest. It's not a bad way to spend my time, especially with that view over there. So I'm not complaining. Been a good day. Not how I expected it to go, but I did say I was shooting from the hip on this one, and that's what we're doing. So camping here, and then we'll figure out our route out tomorrow. But we'll see if there's any alternate ways to get back to civilization. But I know it's not going that way, especially because I'm staying here tonight. So we'll be heading back that way tomorrow. But don't have to worry about that until tomorrow, do we? It's a boil. And hurry up and stir that. That'll be good to go. All right. actually, the little furnace over there is kicking out some pretty decent heat, I must say. Not bad at all. But, oh boy. Yeah, this is the 1100 calorie one. And once again, I have not hiked as much as I anticipated, but okay. Oh yeah, that is good. I read the ingredients. It's got sour cream in there, which I personally like to do at home as well. Oh, that's fantastic. Whew. A little hot. Might let it cool a tiny bit. Speaking of cooling, you can see I got the jacket on. Temp is going down, but that's okay. It'll be another early night for me. As soon as it gets dark out, I'll be in the tent. I still did some work today, so I'm a bit tired. I know it will be after this one. This pouch of mashed potatoes with bison meat in it. It's good. You know, I thought the mashed potatoes were going to be my favorite, and they're both very good. But I like those. If I have to pick, it might be just a mood I'm in, but I like the venison rice. It just had a more variation of texture. But this basically, I mean, a lot of people, I've done it too, just bring mashed potatoes out on the trail. So this is just pumped up mashed potatoes, and I've eaten straight mashed potatoes for dinner before, so this is like cloud 9 mashed potatoes. Love it. So yeah, all I gotta do now is watch the sun fade on those hills over there. Mountain. Yeah, that's a mountain. This is a beautiful spot. It worked out well. I like it. So yeah, good day. Just gotta replace some calories, melt some snow, and chill out. See what I did right there?
Chill out.
Not a bad morning. Coffee? Coffee's okay. It's no fault of the Folgers crystals, but I did melt snow last night, and even with the lid on, I was using like some of these like pine needle-y kind of branches to keep things going, and still made my water taste like pine needle tea. So all my food and beverages, including this coffee, a little bit of a pine taste, but I'm not worried about it. Having some breakfast, a little coffee, just staring out at this beautiful view one last time. And yeah, we'll pack up the tent after this and get back on the trail and come up with a plan for today. Pine coffee. Back at it, and it is cold, but I have taken the layers off, and I'm looking forward to getting out of these trees onto the ridge with the sun. Whew. Gosh, I did not want to take that puffy jacket off yet, or my long underwear, but I know from past experience that I'd be taking it off after about a half mile. So here we go, get ourselves away from the snow. We're just starting to get a little packed down and icy. I have, however, found what I believe is a modified route, so we can get a little different variety on the way back out to civilization. Something called the Middle Cays Creek Trail. We'll see what we can do with that. A little haze out there this morning. See if that burns off as we go. And I have a feeling as soon as I get into the sun, just like yesterday, it's going to be a dramatically different feeling. And we're almost there. Whew. Wow. Yep. Oh my gosh. You can see how the shadows fall in there and all the snow collected. So we were camped right in there on that ridge, kind of where my finger is there in the trees. And that's the thing that we decided not to burn time and ankle risk on going over yesterday. Probably the right decision because that campsite was pretty awesome. Here we go, back at it. Oh, good morning. I actually saw these guys last night. Yeah, same hill, they were over there a little bit. But yeah, right around dinner time last night from over there. They've been hanging around the whole time. They did disappear at one point, but maybe it's because they went out of view over here. They were bedded down. I think they tend to bed down in shifts while the other ones graze and look out. Especially if you have mountain lions around. I guess I'd be doing the same thing. Have a good one, guys. Now we get to do the steep rocky section downhill. Got the poles out and just about max length. Just to get some reach in front of me. We'll make our way down here, hopefully without rolling any ankles. Over there, where it flattens out, just beyond that, after some more drop down, we'll get to our intersection where we can get on some new trails. Getting back down into that lower elevation, deciduous trees and fall colors. Looks like we've had a decent amount of leaves come down just in the last couple days too. Back to a familiar intersection here, and this is where we're going to switch things up. So before we came straight up there, and this is Great Western Trail going this way, and that's where we came from. That's where the first campsite was. So I'm going to do this instead of going down there towards that where I started on the other side of that ridge. We're going to go this way just to make things interesting, and it should make me run right into civilization down there within 4 or 5 miles, something like that. Actually ran into a few guys on horseback right at the intersection back there. We were talking a little bit, and they asked me if I saw any cows up there, and I described what I saw. You know, the 6 on the hill and the one by itself. Solved that mystery. They're not normally out there. They're not their cows, but they said they had told the owner because they saw them before, and they thought he would have picked them up by now. But those are escapee cows, and the one we saw on the ridge apparently is a little antisocial, both to cows and humans. So glad we steered clear of that one yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was. Ooh. Anyway, let's see what this trail looks like. I just put my hiking poles away. I don't know why, because I know I'm going down to the bottom of this thing, and I've never been on this trail, so I probably should have kept them out. But it's all right. It's not too bad, but it's steep. But more importantly, it's got the loose rock, of course. We'll see if I have to bust those out or not, but definitely easier grade than that other part of the trail. A few miles of careful footing and just might be back into society. Did I mention I have no idea exactly where down there this trail pops out? Well, only one way to find out. one more hill here. Let's see if there's a reveal. No. Actually, here's some rushing water down there. I am out of water, so if we go past it, I'm going to grab it, but I'm not sure if it does. Yeah, it looks like we're going down towards it. Just finished my last couple sips of water with that sun up there. I won't be complaining if we get some shade and some H2O. Whew. All right, off of the dirt, onto the pavement. And that right there is a parking lot and a bathroom. And I believe it exits there. So I don't know where exactly I am, but it's somewhere. And it's got cell phone service. Well, I haven't turned my cell phone on this whole time, but I'm assuming it has cell phone service. So I'm gonna ping my wife, let her know where I am. I think we'll go get something to eat, maybe after I get a shower. But that was a good one. Things didn't go as planned, but that was the plan on this one. So I'll take it as a win. Thanks everybody out there for joining me on this one. Until next time, I'm Syntax77, and right now it's cheeseburger time.